crying alone in darkness. Before you begin to read, I would like to tell you that it is based on a true story and that you should read it all the way through. I had a childhood friend. His name was Ben Pitware. He was my friend, my neighbor, my childhood friend, my lover and soulmate. And I like to think that he loved me as much as I loved him. Thinking back, the first time I saw Ben was when I was 9 years old. Even though he had a luxurious living style, he was the only child and his parents were usually at work and returned at around 8 p.m. Sometimes, just sometimes, saw him, and after that I let out the courage to say hi to the non-member of the family. With the Pitware family, I still remember the moment he looked up after scratching the dirt and smiling at me with a toothless smile from fun. We instantly become best friends. Ben had a normal, to be exact, a rich life. He lived in a normal three-story house uptown, received high education, but most importantly, he had a loving family. His family, the Pitwares, were known for going out every Saturday to go to the beach. He had a good life until his parents were faced with bankruptcy. His father's business profit plunged plunged down because a new company was introduced and instantly grabbed the attention of the public, so they had to move downtown where the normal families lived in. I was delicate. Our backyard was connected because there was no fence, and doing so we could see each other whenever we wanted to. However, happy times didn't last very long. Ben's mother ran away because of the low living condition, and Ben's father stopped working and started drinking alcohol. One day, around November, I heard the front door of Ben's house opening and closing. I knew that it was Ben's father, so I continued with what I was doing until I froze at the sound of glass shattering from Ben's kitchen. There were more noises, there were 5 bumps and whimpers, and I was scared because I was 9 years old back then. My parents were away at work, and I continued to listen while frozen. Then I heard the door of Ben's backyard opening, so I ran to the backyard knowing that it will be Ben. I found Ben crying behind the bushes while he was covered in cuts and bruises. I didn't know what it was back then, but now I know that it was child abuse. Ben cried and cried for a long time, and I tried to comfort him. After that incident, Ben and I became closer, and 5 days later, Ben told me his father begged him to forgive him, and that he overdrank. However, I could tell he was getting a beating every single day because the number of bruises and cuts he had kept on increasing. It kept on continuing until I was 11 years old, and it was when it happened. Ben's father pushing him down the stairs, and he fell down the stairs, leaving a fractured skull and a nearly broken leg. That was when my parent called the police again. The police came and arrested Ben's father. That was the last time I saw Ben's father. Ben was the only child in his family, and his mother refused to take responsibility for her own child, so Ben was left as an orphan. A rich, generous family. The Carlingtons, hearing his story, adopted Ben, and they kindly moved nearby to my house, where we could see each other every day. We grew up together until high school, and we were always together until the point everyone will always say Ben and Jessica. Being in a co-ed high school, I naturally developed a crush for a boy in my class. He was tall, popular, and handsome, and before I realized it, I was in love with this boy. Whenever the boy smiled or said hi to me, my heart will flutter, and I will stutter while blushing. Ben will nearly always come over and take me away while trying to break the tension. My friend often asked me how I could like him when I had a handsome. Tell Ben always with me, but I always saw him as a friend, and I always answered we that we were just friends while smiling. Then one day, a miracle happened. I confessed to the boy I liked, and he said yes. I was so happy, and I will run to school so that I can see my boyfriend. My boyfriend will hug me, put me on the head, and treat me like as if I was the rarest diamond in the whole entire universe. Then desperate with me dating with him, and I got in such a bad fight. We decided to ignore each other. After many days passed, my relationship with my boyfriend continued the same way as my cold relationship with Ben. That was when it happened. My old best friend slowly showed me a picture of my boyfriend kissing another girl. I wanted to check it, but it was true, so I asked him, "Will the girl and the picture with?" My boyfriend suddenly got quiet and said, "I am sorry. Can we break up? I mean, like, we can still be." I didn't listen to the rest. It feels like a wave of emotion just slapped me on my face. Stunned, I slowly walked out of the cafeteria as the crowd at the cafeteria stared at me. I cried and cried, so cried. I didn't get out of my room, and kept on crying without eating, drinking, and going to school. I feel like my heart was bang broken to pieces, but all I could think of was when Ben was always with me. I missed Ben, but I knew he will come back because all the many hurtful words I have toward him. I didn't know why I was thinking about Ben when I should be crying over my ex, but I kept on crying silently in the darkness. There was a time to knock on the door. I didn't respond. It was probably my parents worrying about how I was eating or going to school. When the door opened, and it was Ben. Ben's face expression with a mixed, very mad emotion of shock and surprise. I don't know why, but as soon As I saw Ben, I started crying all over again, and Ben rushed over, hugging me and comforting me. After 5 minutes, I stopped crying and started to feel a bit awkward about the point that Ben hugged me and was still hugging me now. "Why didn't you come?" I asked. "Because I was worried about you. You done bad." Ben's answer was short, but it made me smile for the first time in days, and I must be my imagination, but I was then blushing. I returned into school 5 days afterward and confronted my ex-boyfriend who had cheated on me. I slapped him across the cheek and swore for 5 minutes loudly about how he was a fuckboy and the middle of the cafeteria where he broke up with me. The whole school was there to watch the slow and I felt rather happy and proud, and most of all, I was happy because I knew the man will always be there for me. Would you find it weird if I said I forgot about my ex in around 2 months and started liking another boy? Well, I think I started liking another boy called Ben. When was always nice to me. He was nice everyone. Even thinking about it now, I never asked when he would like it, and when I did, like it was, I blushed and no name. I teased him about his crush, but I felt jealous for the girl he liked. After all, Ben will never wife me as a girl because to him, we were practically siblings. I found it really sad about my irrequited love, and I often cried at night in bed when Ben sometimes commented how cute his secret crush was. I tried to get the name of his crush, but he told me I'll figure it out sooner or later. Then we received the news, and Ben's real father was released from prison, and he moved to a place close to our house. To be truthful, Ben and I were scared because of the past experience with Ben's father, but Ben pretended to be brave and said that he will protect me, which I found really cute. Our high school prom was coming up. Some boys asked me out, but there was only one boy I wanted to be asked out by, which was Ben. Being popular with girls, I felt scared that he might say yes to a girl, but he rejected all the girls who asked him out. "You should ask out your crush," I said. "I want to be she's really popular with boys, and I'm not getting out for her." He replied. I answered back saying he was kind, tall, handsome, smart, rich, and had all the characteristics that girls will even want. However, Ben said that he will ask her hour later. It was the day before prom. I asked Ben if he asked how his crush was trying to cover up my feelings, and Ben replied that he didn't ask her out and that he was going to ask her today. It was a free day after school, and Ben and I spent time until the late night buying things for the prom